So for those of you who think that cheese has to be taken out of your diet, I have good news for you. It probably doesn't have to be. Hello everyone, this is Charles here with Nutrition 101 and welcome to my channel. Thank you again for tuning in. All right, we're gonna call this to cheese or not to cheese. That's the question, right? So this should beg the question, why are you asking that, right? Why are we asking, should we eat cheese or not eat cheese? Because a lot of people, when they feel like they have to make a shift in their diet plan or their regimen, will a lot of times cut out cheese and dairy for that matter. Let's put aside the fact that we're not lactose intolerant or have a sensitivity and we don't have an allergy, right? I made a whole video about that coming up, but let's just talk about we can consume cheese, we can absorb it, and we're fine. But should we put it in our diet? Why are we asking this, right? Because a lot of times people think that, one, they try to remove fat from their diet, which is big mistake number one, huge mistake number one, right? We can't. That's the 80s outdated information, right? We can't eliminate fat from our diet. And two, we think that it really raises cholesterol because it's saturated fat, right? But we need saturated fat. We need more than you would think, right? Animal-based foods has a lot of saturated fat, and people try to eliminate that thinking it's going to make their health better. But really, it's the other habits that kind of go along with your bad diet, right? Not cheese. So what happens is people they need a culprit. They need to blame it on something. So a lot of times they blame it on butter and cheese and coconut oil and things like that, which are high in saturated fat. But really, those things are really not healthy for you. They have a lot of vitamins and nutrients we need and can help us live healthier lives, like coconut oil, for example, which has all these medicinal properties. So to eliminate that, it's kind of a mistake, right? And that kind of goes with cheese as well, and even dairy for that matter, right? It's loaded with vitamin D and things like that. And so if we're not going out and getting sunlight and we're eliminating cheese, we're not going to be able to get the proper D that we need and protein, which is a complete protein, which comes in animal-based foods. So really, is it about losing weight? Okay, then let's just control how much cheese we eat. But as long as it's like organic and grass-fed cheese, responsibly sourced cheese, we'll be okay. Trust me, you'll be okay. You're not going to be able to consume that much cheese, especially if you're having an overall good, healthy, wholesome diet. You're not going to consume that much more cheese where it's going to be a problem, right? Especially cholesterol. For example, I eat 4 eggs a day, right? But I don't ever have cholesterol problems because it's not a problem, right? Because I'm not eating processed food, trans fat, and other fried foods that are really bad for you. I'm not eating any of that stuff. So I try to, again, keep a very wholesome, clean diet, and I can enjoy those things like cheese and especially coconut oil and eggs. So really, that's what you should be asking yourself. What am I trying to gain from this? Why would I quit cheese? You don't really have to. That's the answer. Because if it's about weight loss, we know we can just monitor that, and we make a certain percentage of our diet fat, meaning like maybe 30% of our total calories should be fat, right? And that could be saturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat, things like that. Just as long as it's not trans fat. That's the bad fat, right? So you're going to have this balance of HDL and LDL, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So for those of you who think that cheese has to be taken out of your diet, I have good news for you. It probably doesn't have to be. Just do it responsibly, and I believe you'll be okay. And just keep in mind, but I think we all know this, not all cheese is created equal. We know this. Right? There are some cheeses that you can get out there that have food dyes in it and are processed and have some other ingredients. It's pretty wild what you can see that comes from cheese. So you might as well just stick with just pure old, aged cheese if you can get it. Some good cheddars, white cheddar, doesn't matter, Swiss, whatever it is. Aged hard block cheese is really one of the best things to eat. When you start to get into softer cheeses, then you're going to have more sugar, more lactose. And those could be a little harder to digest anyway because of the lactose content. Like for myself, for example, I have a little lactose intolerance, but I could deal with, little doses of cheese, whether it's softer cheese, but I'm fine with the hard aged cheese. But again, think about it. Think about what kind of If you're someone who has no impulse control, once you eat one piece, you eat a whole block, okay, you might have to eliminate some cheese just because it would take up most of your fat for the day and probably beyond. But if you're someone that can control what you eat, you take a couple of slices, you eat it, boom, done. Maybe even a little bit later for dinner, great. Matter of fact, that's going to be even better because it's going to increase your fat content, help you keep full a little bit longer, and you won't be so hungry the next meal. That's usually what a lot of people lack, especially women. They usually lack fat and they lack protein, two very important nutrients that they need in their diet to live an overall healthier life and have balance. So hopefully you enjoy that information, and don't forget to share this information. Follow me, please. Show some support on Instagram and on YouTube. My name is Charles here at Nutrition 101. Thank you for tuning in.